Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our second series of the night. Our first series ended up being a little bit more one side that we expected. Our second series could be the same. We have Tempest versus Miracle as our second series of the night. A win here for Miracle is unexpected, but very much something they're looking for, because if they lose this and continue to lose the rest of their matches, they might find themselves relegated to promotions.
That is certainly a possibility, and I think Miracle really has to step up. They have been struggling for such a long time. We've been saying this over and over and over again, but similar story to Tempest all of a sudden in part 2 after that Eastern Clash, not really contesting to be the top 2. They have been falling down as well. I would like to see them actually bringing up some new cool strategy, and this is the meta where we have with Maiev open. Tempest may rise up a lot more with that false stat pick that we were kind of mentioning in series number 1, but I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more false stat pick in this series number 2.
I think I'm okay. I'm good now. My mic's back in. Sorry, I was just talking about full stat priority, but so I accidentally kicked out my mic, I think. But anyways, full stat priority's been high for this team. They've been able to make it work a lot. Their opponent's Miracle here. I just wanted to take a quick glance at the official listed roles. Continue to put Gunza on the DPS, Duty on the tank. I like this a lot. And I think we could probably say for this week and our final week next week that this is going to be the way it stays.
Should be, and their way of controlling the map, I think they were going towards the right direction, but they took a hard left turn, and then they went back to old Miracle, the 10-minute team after a long game. They struggled in the macro and started losing miraculously. Once they finished all that, I think it has been due to the shot calling that they have been doing. Maybe it's time to change. Maybe have the same person do the first 10 minutes and then switch over to the next person when that time mark hits, and then suddenly have shot calling from the other person.
Well, both first picks today will end up being the Tomb of the Spider Queen map choice. And map bans, of course, on Braxis and Cursed Hollow. Not a surprise to see the Cursed Hollow ban by Miracle, given that Tempest is running that false stat a lot right now. It's one of his best maps with double boss and the long distance between lanes, how just large the map is in general. So, Phoenix. That was actually just like not even planned.
I know.
Started doing this.
Like, we're the duo, man. We're the soul brothers.
Caster synergy.
It's real, and on this map, the Q build, once you get to hit multiple heroes, max those stacks, oh man. Phoenix is unstoppable.
Okay, they're teasing us. Is it going to be a Maiev pick, or sorry, Medivh pick?
Less RNG.
Less RNG indeed.
Miracle. You know what everyone wants, but of course, you do want to ban the strongest hero that you don't want to deal with.
I think they should ban the Phoenix here, as much as I'd love to see the Phoenix.
Maybe Medivh, though. Medivh is such a powerful hero on this map.
HGC and Gunza look to be discussing this pretty directly amongst themselves. Like, Gunza seems to be more against the idea of letting the Phoenix through, whereas HA2 seem to have more conservative opinion just based on lip reading there.
Maybe just ban a Nova and let everything through.
Well, maybe just ban a Garrosh if you want to do that. Ban a Malfurion maybe, you know.
Let's see,
5 seconds to choose.
I was trying to read their lips, but couldn't really get the hero names.
Phoenix is banned.
Not
a surprise. Medivh will be first picked.
We knew it.
And this leaves open potential for that Medivh Diablo, Sonya. Miracle does not snatch that away right now.
I know lots of boos from the viewers, but has to happen, you know. Phoenix is very strong.
If Miracle highly prioritizes the Sonya here, then they will be countered by a Malthael pick later on, so it's a little bit awkward now for Miracle with this Medivh going through. It's so frustrating to have to be forced to ban the Phoenix like this. because when you're forced to ban the Phoenix, you end up allowing another S2 hero through in first pick. That's why first pick is so strong right now. And you've got to figure out the counter synergy. The problem being that you can't just steal picks away from a Medivh. So, sure, Malfurion and Garrosh are very strong heroes right now, but now Tempest could just grab Diablo and Sonya if they want to, and it's so powerful. Then, because they're first pick as well, they can also ban the Malthael. There's so much that Tempest has control over right now with this first pick Medivh.
Hey, don't forget Maiev. Still out there.
True.
Can always rotate hard here, as that Raven will be just rotating around the map, spotting everyone from Miracle's side. I think Miracle locked themselves in a big trouble by letting everything through. Of course, that Tracer ban kind of threw them off, spending all the time during the ban phase. Now Tempest, they're thinking, of course, this is a happy choice. Which one do we pick? Whichever do we like, that's a Diablo and Genji. Not the Sonya pair that we were talking about.
Yeah, but it still is possible. The cool thing about this Genji pick is now you're like, oh, I want to ban the Sonya, but I want to ban the Uther as well. They already have Medivh, so even if I do ban the Uther, Genji can still be quite strong. This is the same circle of protection, by the way. It's not the nerfed circle of protection.
Yeah, personally, I was up against this comp with a variant, so there was... Oh my, I lost that terribly. So many protection. It was protection after protection after protection.
You know, I mean, they could pick variant for Soul Lane. Probably not.
That was a nightmare.
Hopefully not. Yeah, it can be very frustrating to deal with. They're going to ban the Stukov, which leads me to believe they want to grab the Maiev.
Yes.
Which is exactly what Tempest is going to prevent. Tempest is
of course,
already one step ahead.
It seemed way too easy of a ban to actually ban that out.
It's like now you have given Uther away to Tempest too. They wanted Uther instead of the Stukov. I think Tempest was ever going to, ever going to let you have Maiev if you ban the Stukov. They were never going to allow that to happen. So now the Stukov ban is worthless. They get the Uther. And this becomes an insanely strong draft for Tempest.
Let's see the last 4, 5 support picks from Miracle. Malfurion, 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 no Stukov. But they are... I think this is... Miracle is another team that's picking Malfurion regardless of what happens. I think Malfurion is top tier, I do agree. But not in every single case. And in this case, when you have Medivh already gone to the other team, maybe you need to make some changes.
Because of Uther's high involvement rate, he's also ranked 4th in terms of win rate, actually behind Karzim, Rhaegar, and Uther. Whereas Karzim only having 13 games played compared to Malfurion's 89 in Korea. But they will take the Junkrat and the Sonya. But this leaves open now Uther, Malthael. Think about how powerful this composition is. It's quite powerful. Spoiler alert. They don't have tons of boss control, but they will have Polybomb to help with that. And they can't really... They have to pick a Soul Laner. Diablo can't flex. Tyrael would be a really bad matchup against Sonya. They would lose a lot of macro control that way. So I think this just has to be either a Malthael or a Dahaka pick. Dahaka can at least give them some global presence, give them extra pushing power, and prevent the Sonya from just running away with that top lane. They want to take the approach of the Soul Lane matchup, though. And they are going to get the Uther. So,
perfect.
Look at those 5 heroes and tell me Tempest didn't get everything they wanted exactly. Like, this is such a good draft for them.
Well, Phoenix is, you know.
Okay, well, look at the Phoenix ban and then look at this draft and tell me they didn't get exactly everything they wanted.
Yes, they got exactly what they wanted. There was not a single hero that was banned out. I don't think Stukov maybe was considered by Hive, but he never really likes to play the Stukov. Of course, Uther over that pick. They had Genji the pair. And they also have a secondary support with Medivh now.
I think we need some percentage-based damage here. Is it Falsti? Is it going to be
Sergeant Hammer?
Tychus, Sergeant Hammer? I don't think so, but that would be fun. That's my face right now too, H82, looking at this draft.
What happened to our team?
I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, it is Falsti.
They do go for the Falsti. All right. Good old Falsti to head up the draft, getting that percentage-based damage in, having the global control of the map. Guns are going to be playing that one. Still, tough. You have split push potential with Sonya. She can control the map with clearing the caps, siege giant timings, night camp timings. Volstad can go back to her lane to you know, split soak while she's doing that, while she's clearing those caps. There's a lot the Volstad could do for you, but otherwise she's losing the matchup. In the top lane to the Malthael, they've got Genji so they can stop those rotations, those ganks. Diablo's so powerful here against everything, especially the Falstad. Gusts are probably going to be used mostly defensively. And, you know, I'm feeling pretty bad about Miracle's setup here compared to what we've got on the side.
At least I think they have a lot of escapes. And now with the Mighty Gust, another tool to disengage. And also to initiate or isolate the target that wants to go into the portal. There's lots of rules, and those are only few why Falstad has been coming out. A great counter to Maiev also, not just the Medivh. Gunza, I think this is the second time on that Falstad, but if you look at the other side, the damage output that can happen, it's not as burst, I would say, but still Diablo, adding Diablo's damage onto that combo.
I mean,
will certainly be a kill.
They have two heroics they can empower with the Divine Shield, both the Tormented Souls and the Dragon Blade. Because they have Garrosh as the front line for Miracle, and Sonya to a lesser extent, the top laner being the tank here, I think that there's an argument to be made for not taking Tormented Souls, but instead taking the percentage-based...
Last Right?
Yeah, I was forgetting the name for a second.
For
Last
Genji's
Rites.
kill and getting that reset, maybe?
Yeah, Last Right's so strong against Garrosh, you can empower the Genji with the Dragon Blade instead of empowering the Tormented Souls, which is, you know, is also quite strong.
Yeah, Tempest has to kind of engage because in terms of wave clear, they have a lot more mobility around the map, but their wave clear is not as good as Miracle, I would say. So they have to try to damage the hero, try to let them go back far behind to lose that time. So Tempest buying time in that way seems very important, so they're going very aggressive from the beginning.
Yeah, they have the picks that allow them to threaten the Sonya, for example. Come over there, attempt to gank. This is what we're talking about. The Falstad pick knows the bot lane. Sonya rotates over to the Knight camp. Falstad checks the neutral camp and then goes ahead and clears this. So now he knows that the missing heroes were doing the Knight camp. He's actually getting the extra soak. They're going to trade the Knight camp here for faster value. What Dami doesn't know is that this was actually already checked. This camp, or the bottom camp was actually checked, so it looked like it was actually a clever ploy to be like, you don't know where we are on the map, you don't have vision of us, but they actually did, so he's just going to come over here and take this now.
An easy rotation, but meanwhile Miracle, because they know a lot of them are missing from lane for the last maybe 40 seconds almost. And with the Sonya pick, you always want to dominate the lane, try to take the camp that's closest to you.
Yeah.
Often happens in TOD, and as you can see, Spider here.
Both teams hitting level 4 around the same time. Camp timing a little bit easier for Tempest to get value out of. That's why Miracle's rotated 3 members up. Meanwhile, the bot lane, they're just bullying Sonya super hard. There's not much that she could do down there in this matchup, unfortunately. You see the dash coming through here.
Miracle couldn't really push too much with their own camp. And Tempest is trying to maximize, but pretty much damage, so they can't do either. But they have been able to get the gems turned in. They're using their rotation to maximize their profit. Miracle,
yeah,
they are slower in rotation in the mobility.
Like, Genji is pushing Sonya out of lane and then just jumping back into mid to help push these Knight camps. Volstad being top means they lose a little bit of health here. They end up losing that soak, but it's only temporary what they lose. Oh, good. On top of it, noticing that Sign's flame kick, or not flame kick, this little flamey stomp thing.
It does a lot more damage than Diablo 2, guys. Trust me.
Why am I forgetting all the ability names today? It's my first day back this week of Heroes. When Diablo gets mad and like this flame star comes out, you know, sometimes it doesn't connect. And you're right.
Yes.
I played a little bit of Diablo 2 back in my day. A little bit different here.
A little bit?
Lockdown eating a lot of damage here, but Uther is going to come over and help him.
I think he has the shift, but just not
Ooh.
losing it. Maybe not.
Yeah, just not quite enough damage there. Lockdown staggering his deflection a little bit later there, so they couldn't actually come over and kill him. Sign pings for help here is a little bit concerned. They're just trying to make sure the turn doesn't happen. They have enough for their own. And I think it's time for more pressure onto H82 again with the Genji. Because otherwise he is just going to do too much. With Guns at the top, they split the Sonya and the False at the top and bottom lanes, so it's difficult to deal with both of them. So Tempest can't turn in, and then they're not able to, they're just losing experience. So Miracle actually takes an EXP lead at this moment in time, 7-6, just for a second, but still pretty significant. Okay, lockdown being collapsed on. They're going to try to make this a trade. Good route here. No follow-up damage, a little bit slow to react. It's kind of a wing it route there by Jaehyun, but he's just so good at his accuracy. No one trusted his route to connect, but he's like, guys, I was once the best Malfurion in the world. Remember?
Yes, remember. Everyone remembers Gunza takes the damage. Will roll away. There's a portal
Good
now,
portal.
but not onto a Garrosh. Not the best thinking to do if you want to focus on the Garrosh instead. You want to focus on the back line. There are lots of weak targets like Junkrat, Falstad, and Malfurion now even.
Tommy's going to sneak this turn in. Gunza can't stop him. So they're just 7 gems away, just like Miracle. Tommy with the interrupt here, but Diablo's coming in this time. Where is the portal? Where is the Medivh? He's still in Raven form. Just not able to do enough damage. Lockdown's going to get the double protect. Unfortunately, stacked there instead of stagger. This is going to be great for Miracle. Good cannot die here. He's not going to get his quest completed. Close call there. Sniper's just looking for that snipe. Gunza and all the chaos will get the turn in, it looks like.
The lockdown is low, so he can't really go in.
Yeah, he would have died trying. So Miracle gets the first turn. They're pretty ahead at this point.
Ooh, the first one, and that was the most important one for both teams. Miracle having that 10 means they can actually push before they want to be defensive. They can actually be offensive at this turn. The best time to snowball your lead right before Tempest. Once they hit 10, they will have so much more ways of protecting. The CCs will just chain one after the other. The polybomb will take everything apart. Garrosh, when he has to escape, may not be able to escape in that way.
And that's why it's so important Miracle actually leads the charge in terms of web weavers, because it means they're going to have 10 first. They're going to minimize the time in which Tempest has this huge power spike. Or in fact, perhaps just eliminate that window altogether. But they're going to have 10 first, which means that Tempest can't bully them. They should be able to, in theory, if they can continue to control the map this well with the Global and the Sonya, continue to soak up gems and grab a double turn in. They already have that 10 now. It's going to be Twilight Dream.
I like it a lot more. With the Gust, they can pair up pretty well, as you saw from KSV last weekend.
Yeah. That was terrifying. Tempest is playing it passive, playing it safe. Losing 2 forts here, but still maintaining a soak. Falstad looking for the Gust kill here on the Hyde. Interrupted.
A pretty good attempt, though. Flight position was not too dangerous, not too safe. Of course, with that global use, Marte will be pushing bottom a lot more.
Yeah, and they are going to get 10 years. This went about as well as it could have for Tempest. Still massively behind, but once this goes down, that's going to be 10. There it is.
Miracle's playing this game as almost flawless. No kills yet.
Yeah.
But they're getting closer to that 10-minute mark.
It's going to be not Last Rites, actually. Instead of, it's going to be Tormented Souls. Polybomb being held. Lightning Breath being held as well. I highly doubt that's going to be the case. But the thing is, if they don't go Leyline, then you don't have the APOC combo, so... You know, Lightning Breath smells bad at least, but no.
No. The Fire Stomp is enough of that fire damage.
Look, get Diablo some Listerine, okay? He's already had his Subway diet. Deve's like, no. We're going to do this.
It is going to be Leyline APOC
Yeah.
combo, as usual.
Yeah, there's only one boss on this map, and it's very irrelevant most of the time, so Polybomb not the greatest against the comp of Miracle here. So, Tempest finds their way back into the game. 0 kills. Objectives traded here. Still tough for them to do as much as Miracle did because they don't have a Sonya. They don't have a global, so it's not easy for them to actually do as much damage. These Thistles are finished here for Diablo.
So they're committing all the resource into one. I think they are almost committing too much onto Sonya alone. They don't want to dive in because they know that Falstad come in on any time and have that gust from the other side.
Yeah, it's scary too. I mean, Falstad is actually not only dealing with the bot web weaver, but also gaining more soak. So Miracle stays ahead in experience. And that's the problem of committing 5 to these rotations. You just lose soak to a global hero, and you still don't do as much as what Sonya could do. You don't have that strong frontline top laner that destroys the forts. You have the frontliner, or sorry, not the frontliner, the top laner that can bully in lane, but cannot do structural damage the same way. They catch up a little bit, but without that second fort, they're still behind. Gem's almost dead even at 72 to 71 carried at the moment.
Nothing turned in as they're having their rotation. Genji has to shift away. HGC to get 34 alone here.
He made pay for it with his life, but he's going to go ahead and pop his heroic here. Going very deep. Sign is the target. Sign gets that armor, gets
very
stunned
low.
though. Divine Shield and the protection stacked on top of each other. They commit the ley line.
No APA combo this time
Nope.
as they are very low. Even after the combo, there was going to be no follow-up, so not contesting, not really using it. I like that choice.
He knows that they didn't have enough for the turn-in, so I thought he might waited then used it for the denial of the turn-in, but he doesn't use it there either. So it is going to be a turn-in for Miracle. Miracle's looking like they might take the first game in the series. You'll have massively ahead, using their advantages correctly, zoning correctly, having the CC combos together, forcing Diablo to retreat, forcing him into an awkward position, threatening so much here. They have Roots, they have Spear for the stun, they have Concussive Mine, Groundbreaker, Tosses, and Gust. There's so many different ways that Tempest could just get totally smashed if they end up falling prey to these crowd control effects. So Miracle continuing to threaten but not commit, which gives them so much zone control.
It's a lot about the heroics. Lane line, how many you can trap down in that lane line. Gus said to disengage when Martel comes in. You can isolate Martel only. Pairing up with Twilight Dream basically means 4v5. So look at that placement of the mine. Sign is on target, trying to grab onto Jaehyun.
Gooden's not on the same page with him though. He's putting that pearl down, telling him to leave. Gust comes through for the disengage. Lockdown pulls the blade, but he's not going to find anything. It's an air blade here. The portal there was clearly indicating that Good was saying, yo, it is time to leave. And he just did not. He decided to commit in further. And that cost them big. End up losing that that fight.
It seems like so far from Tempest, their Medivh Diablo pair is not really having the best teamwork. Oftentimes, whenever Sign charges in, make sure he doesn't take too much target. Diablo has to be protected, and the portal has to be there, but oftentimes late. I wasn't really focusing on Good too much, but it seems like that was not really followed up too many times. That's why Sign is always soaking so much damage alone, forcing himself to go back.
Well, they don't have enough for turn in right now. Tempest is going to just play passively. They can't force a fight at the moment, even though they got that one trade with the heroics forcing that Gust earlier. They just simply cannot make it happen, so they need to take some camps, soak a little bit, don't fall too far behind in experience, look for an opportunity rather than trying to force one at the moment, because they don't need to force anything given that Miracle doesn't have enough gems for a turn in. Sitting back, soaking safely, and looking for opportunities is the better option here. This is going to be perhaps one of those opportunities, but it's unfortunately not the hero they wanted to grab. Jaehyun has got Ice Block available, so even committing to him is not going to really do much. Leyline comes up. This could be the APOC combo.
Man.
Okay, they commit here. Falstad's dead. Riptire is going to catch there. The Genji with the taunt, so it's going to be a 1-for-1. But this is finally the opportunity Tempest has been looking for to engage.
Focusing on the Garrosh means they have a lot more enough damage. There's the
Twilight
silence.
Dream.
Diablo's going super low. HGC switches the targeting onto Martel and protected and D-Shield together.
That was so well played. Oh my god. Body blocking there, zoning out, Sign doing the exact amount of damage he needed to, getting the positioning there for Dami so he could actually go ahead and pop that, then Hyde being ready with the Divine Shield. Total control over that fight after Falstad is dead. This would never work if Falstad is available because he can Gust, if he can disengage with that. This whole thing falls apart. But they targeted him down first, made sure that he was the target after the APOC. It was totally worth the trade for Genji. Was Diablo is a main tank who's tankier than anybody else, better regen than pretty much anybody else, and also does more damage. So he soaks a lot of the attention. That allows the Tormented Souls to go off. Very well executed here by Tempest. That was impressive.
Very impressive indeed. And Twilight Dream bought a lot of time. Seemed like Miracle could have done a little bit more damage. Maybe got a kill onto Sign, but that was going to be very dangerous. Great risk involved. So Sonya backed off, switching target, and the moment Sonya switched target onto H82, he dove in with the D-Shield and also protected. Seems like Hyde and Good, they're thinking the same, not really using the resources onto multiple targets. But that's a little bit of a waste, but still very good focusing there.
Yeah, look at Falstad right now, trying to clear. They're headed down. Falstad has to fly away. End up losing the fort regardless. Tempest has brought their way back into this game with a few good clutch plays. They have a double turn-in ready here, or back-to-back, I should say. And with the wave clear and the vision on the map right now, I think they should be able to force it. They want more, though. They want the Junkrat. Diablo going in here. Sign blows him up. Leyline Seal just for guarantees here to prevent that CC from coming through from Judy. And this should easily be them turning in right now. Do they want to get greedy and try to get boss? I don't think that's reasonable. But look at the positioning here. They could start it. They certainly could.
Yeah, Dami still has a bunch of gems. He was holding almost 70 before the last turn-in.
Just gonna play it safe, though.
I thought they had a chance to start the boss and then turn in at the same time. Maybe because of that gust available. Maybe they were thinking ahead. Let's just take this passive. We have a lead. No risk involved. Just get the Web Weavers. We're holding a lot of gems. And let's push a little bit more into the keep. Yeah. They may actually not be able to get the entire keep. So they're rotating down here.
Let's see. They should be able to get one. Unless Miracle really sets up a good flank. That could be done with Gust. It could be done with Riptire. Sonya's is right now trying to rush down the top one so she can commit in. Good route here by Jaehyun to prevent any sort of portal shenaniganry.
Tempest going in slowly. They're always thinking about that Falstad. Sonya's got the top Web Weaver, so this one's the only one left now.
Okay, charging in here on to Judy. Unfortunately, that's not the target they want. It gets signed into position, but Sun's coming down here. Cleanse is up, and Dami's doing so much damage. Divine Shield hasn't even been used yet. He's doing a lot here. All right, look at this. Gunza totally shut down here. Lockdown with the blade. Look at the damage. He's got the protection on. He's going to get the D-Shield. He's doing so much here. Nothing matters to him. He is just a free Genji to do what he wants.
Sober can catch the Genjis too fast. Out of the screen, into the screen. That's 19. Before that 20, I think they are going for the core. They have enough. 2 members down from Miracle. They have the protection. They have the sustain. There's the ley line. The secure. The Riptire comes, but I don't think he can really get the kill.
Killed by the dragon, or sorry, not by the dash there of Genji. Lockdown's very low. Does get blown up here, but there's still so much damage. More protection here as well. Level 20 reached, which means Uther can come back from the dead. I think they should be able to finish this one. Miracle's doing everything they can, but it's just not enough. That's going to be the full team wipe. That is, well, that is nearly the full team wipe.
Oh,
Gust.
the Gust comes, but of course they have 3 members alive still. Dami super high.
Redemption as well here.
7%.
Yeah, 1% left on the core. That is going to be GG. Very close defense there, nearly by Miracle, but not good enough. And the first pick combo, Medivh, Genji, Diablo, the Stukov ban, which I think was very incorrect, makes this draft so formidable for Tempest. And despite the fact that Miracle had really good wave clear and had a global and controlled the early game, prevented 2 turn-ins, got the back-to-back turn-ins, they could not win the team fights against this force once Diablo's souls were completed. And the engages, the synergy with Hyde and the composition they were running with the Genji, Diablo, Malthael was so incredible. The first time we saw the Tormented Souls coming through that fight was beautiful. Tempest is one of the best team fighting teams in the world, and even when behind, they can find those ways to fight you and catch back up.
Well played by Tempest, and how they were controlling the team fight, and Dami always waiting for the perfect moment to pop that Tormented Soul and diving in later when Garrosh is low. The percent damage rips through that armor of Garrosh. knowing the time, waiting for the protection from good, there's a slight